smooch on him.
And he also gave him a what? All right, and I heard
you didn't see when they were hanging out in the car?
No, I didn't see that.
And 6ix9ine had his arms all like around him,
like this, and
yeah, and it would look like, I don't know if he was whispering to him, caressing his neck, or kissing him on the cheek. But Kodak Black was like, "Hey, you paid your money. My body is your wonderland."
Oh Lord, play the video.
That's what they said, not me.
So I get it. It be like, we know these rap niggas, we know these fuck niggas saying, but damn, I ain't no follower. I come as I am, you heard? It be like, niggas be wanting somebody to do that, do it to them. For real. Cause it's like these niggas be ready to die some shit. It's like they mad at something. They hate themselves.
So is this a W for Florida or is it L for Florida?
Typical Florida L. Another week, another Florida L.
Nah, man.
I mean, I just don't understand. 6ix9ine is trying to make it cool to snitch with this generation. And I seen all his fans say, "Well, what would you do if they beat you up and pistol whip you and
your baby mama,
porked out your baby moms?" They're like, "You wouldn't snitch on them?" I was like, "No, I would do them dirty. You'd leave them on the street." But because getting the cops to do your dirty work is basically saying you ain't man enough to handle your own stuff on your own. So basically, but a lot of people don't believe in that. Most people don't have any morals. A lot of things in this world shows that most people don't have no morals. So if you're someone that your whole career has talked down on snitches, and then a snitch say, "Hey, I'll give you $500K for a verse," like, "Nah, I ain't working with no snitch. I'll give you $1 million. Ain't working with no snitch. 1.5 million. No. 2 million. Well, I could use 2 million.
Exactly.
So it's basically saying that he's a punk because he has no morals. So he could be bought. That's what Boosie was saying. They said, like I told you, it was the weird video of like him cuddling with 6ix9ine, and it's like you got 2 million to do a feature with a rat. Now if 6ix9ine got big money from doing his Spanish songs, if he's like, "Hey, I'll give you 10 million to smack your butt and put it on my OnlyFans,"
you ain't gonna take that.
What is not gonna take that? Because money, business is business. Business is business. That's like business is business.
Nah, man, that's not the business you want to do.
6ix9ine.
You got to do business that makes sense. That's not business. That business doesn't make sense. So you telling me
if 6ix9ine is like, "Hey, Yak, let me snort a line of the finest cocaine
off your back,
off your butt." That's for $50K.
No, that's too much. That's too much. You're going too far with it. I can.
What do you mean too far?
Because with a song, that's doing
business is business.
That's doing.
I thought business was business.
I'm not gay for pay. I'm not gay for pay. This is music. So if you a snitch and the music makes sense. So if I got this music, you got your music, the fans want to see it. You paying the
fans. That's the thing though. The fans didn't want to see this.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people thought that Kodak was one of the last real street rappers left, but now they're finding out like he's a lot of these other goofies. So basically, if you're born after the year, if you're not a 90s baby, there's no hope for you. You're basically a lost soul that's been raised by the internet, and you've been programmed by TikTok.
Are you surprised that there hasn't been that much backlash for Kodak? Because I honestly can say I haven't really seen people like go crazy. Besides Boosie and y'all two are the only people that's talking bad about it.
I see
Boosie, and Bezu.
I see it in the comments. I see it in the comments a lot, but it's never like the first comment. The first comment will be like, "Why y'all ain't putting money in Yak's pocket? Don't worry how he feed his family." But it's like the same conversation they had with Adam 22. Like, is your business bad? Are you going broke? Like, you had to get your girl's OnlyFans popping by letting another dude pipe her. So they're saying, is Kodak down that bad? Is he gambling like Michael Jordan, where he would literally do anything to get some money to cover his debts?
Probably.
So it's like, it's one of those things, because it just seems like you shouldn't have a price to be goofy. You're like, "I'm going to remain solid. Well, I'll give you $5 million to be a goofy. Maybe I could be a goofy for today." It's what?
You're a rapper already. You're already a goofy. They already say rappers are goofies.
Nah. But it just lets you know, like, if if I was an artist and like that was someone that I was cool with and that was my friend, I wouldn't rock with him anymore because I couldn't trust him. Because it's like if we hanging out and something pop off, seems like Yak's already in the mode to look out for himself, so he's a non-trusted individual. So, but I've also heard that this is going to cause a lot of problems for him if he gets locked up again.
You think so?
Because basically they said that he's part of the Zoes.
Yeah, Zoe Mafia. It's like Zoe Mafia. It's like it's not really like.
But they said
it's like a branch off group.
Yeah, it's not a worldwide group. So he gets arrested all over the country. So when he gets arrested, he don't have no one to click up with, cause he ain't a Blood, he ain't a Crip, he ain't GD, he ain't BD, he ain't Stone, he ain't none of that. He's some Florida stuff.
He got money. When you got money, people gonna be around you regardless. Hey,
6ix9ine had money, and what happened at was the LA Fitness?
Shoot, I mean that's different. But 6ix9ine.
Do you think what if that happens to Yak now?
That's not gonna happen.
Well, Yak's out, and people are like, this man's goofy. Let's try him. He's by himself. Let's jump him.
Then that's when Yak can catch a body. He gonna be back on top of the game again.
No, but isn't he a felon? He can't have a gun.
You think
so?
He cares?
If he has a gun,
do you think he cares about having a gun?
And he uses it, then that's another gun case. And guess where he's going into jail? Where he has no friends.
How many brain cells do you think Yak actually has in his head?
I used to think he had a lot, but it sounds like he's been hanging out with Steve-O doing whippets. Sounds like that's what he's been doing. I mean, I just don't understand where people like
the streets is a myth. I told you, Gavin, it's a myth.
Well, no, I mean, the streets aren't a myth. It's just that what people don't understand is that 80% of people who listen to music have never even been in the streets or been around the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So their opinion is really irrelevant. And it's like when people know what should it be okay and what shouldn't be okay,
but they
just choose to do whatever.
But at the same time, if you're a celebrity and they say celebrities, you shouldn't go back to the hood because you don't get shot. You shouldn't be doing so you shouldn't even be around people that even believe in the snitch culture. Anybody that believes in like if you snitch, then
that's
you
when you
shouldn't be around them.
That's when you go when people call you a sellout too. So,
but you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter anymore. It's a double-edged sword. Either you die, or you become a sellout. Either way it goes, you're something. You're a dead sellout or you're an alive sellout.
I mean, people got their reasons to justify anything.
Pretty much.
I mean, you can justify, that's like when people kill their spouses because they have an insurance policy. I had an insurance policy. I needed that money. I don't care that it was my wife.
True that.
But it's like, and then it's like, would you want that person to be your friend? I wouldn't really be like, if I knew someone that murked their significant other and got away with it, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't feel even comfortable hanging around that person. Be like, if I get in the bad page with this person, they might try to murk me and get away with it.
So how far are you taking the snitching thing? If somebody in your family snitches, are you letting them in your house or inviting them to the family cookout?
I wouldn't invite them to my house or anything, but if there's like
even to your house,
if there's like a family gathering at like a park and everyone's gonna be there, you can't be like, oh, you gotta tell Mike that he's not allowed.
He a snitch
because he snitched. But some families that are real deal families would be like that. They'd be like, hey, Mike better not come. He gonna get jumped. Mike can't come to the family dinner. He know what he did.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, so
you got to know your family.
So what about at work? So what if at work? What if you know somebody at work is a snitch? He didn't snitch at work. He snitched. He snitched.
You snitched at work or in the streets?
On some street stuff, but he just happened to work at your job.
Then I wouldn't trust him to anything to do because people always cut corners at work. That's not the man that you let know that you're doing it.
But you do know they say about people that cut corners at work, they say like the laziest people at work get the farthest in life. That's why Elon Musk actually hired a whole bunch of lazy people because he feels like lazy people find the shortcuts the fastest and they get the best results the fastest. So, I mean, that's what lazy people. But I know what you feel like. I wouldn't like the whole moral situation. I understand what you're saying, like the whole moral situations, but I feel like them, like if I'm not doing no crimes with you, then I mean I'm straight. Like in my eyes, I'm straight because I'm not gonna get in trouble. Like if I'm not gonna smoke no weed around you. I'm not gonna sell no weed around you. I'm not gonna do anything around you. I'm gonna just go to McDonald's, do some civilian stuff, and then come back home. Like we're gonna go to work. I'm gonna clock into work. We're gonna do this song. I'm gonna clock out of work. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, but it's a different type of work. It's not
They
your
say you
work.
wasn't
Your
even-
work isn't connected. Like if you're an artist, your work is connected to the streets. So it's like unless you want to be like a country singer or something. I'm just saying.
A lot of them do want to be country singers though.
But it's these.
And a lot of people are opportunists.
But a lot of people think that like, oh, the streets is a myth. No, what it is that the older people are tired of seeing of all these Fortnite kids in the comments. That's exactly what it is, because the people that are in their late 20s and early 30s, they just see the stuff and say, man, look at all this lost generation. It's a bunch of goofies. And they keep scrolling. Where all the goofy little kids are the ones that are under there saying, snitch life, rat life forever, rat life in Fortnite. So it's like,
there's no rules.
yeah,
I told you, there's no
so of
rules.
course, I mean, I guess that 5-year-old Timothy that lives in the suburbs is basically lays the rules for the streets now. If that's what you're telling me, if you're telling me that, then you don't. Then you basically you tell me you're goofy without telling me you're goofy without telling me you're goofy. Because it's like it's just there's nothing to go from there.
And then okay, so you see and like I said before, only people mad about this is you and Boosie, and we got to slide.
I'm not mad about it. I just think that he shouldn't get a free pass, because you can't talk all this your whole career, and just because someone give you some money, you do it. I mean, what are we gonna see Kodak on the bank bus? Are they gonna see him walking in the street and be like, "Hey Kodak, we're gonna give you $20K to hop in this bus and shake your cheeks"? Kodak be like, "I don't do that. I'll shoot you." And be like, "But what if we give you $100K?" He's like, "Maybe I'll shake a little cheeks." I mean, just saying.
I can understand what you're saying. Like, I mean, but in that case, I feel like everybody has a price. Like, no matter what, even if the toughest of dudes.
No, but but that's the thing though. If you are a real human being with real morals and values, you can't be bought. But if you a phony, a big fat phony, you can be bought.
Okay. So I need you to comment below before we move on to the next slide.
That's just like people saying like, oh, like people thinking backdooring is cool. So making someone think that your friend and then like shooting them in the head when you're not looking just so you can hit a lick. Like what? That's what's cool nowadays.
That's what they do in Chicago all the time.
Nah,
they backdoor.
That's what the GDs
do.
The
051s. Didn't they 051 backdoor somebody?
Melly.
Yeah,
it wasn't 051 that got Melly. It was STL. I think there was a party in STL which they're clicked up with, but they were kind of having baby beefs. And then he was at a party where he probably shouldn't have been there, and he got smoked.
Ain't no honor.
But it wasn't his own people.
I told you this snitch is no, and then on top of that, there's no one set rules. Like it's you snitching if somebody go to jail, or it's snitching if it's not snitching if they die and you get caught for a crime and you can put everything on them. Like every time you turn around, it's a different way. Like this isn't snitching. This is
the easiest way I've heard break it down is if you do something that causes someone's jail time.
But what if they don't go to jail? So what if?
So basically, if you do anything that could impact someone's case or time. So if you're testifying against someone, that's snitching. And that's like what people say with 6ix9ine, like, oh, they did him dirty. Well, just because you got did dirty doesn't mean you get a get out of jail free snitch card. That's not what it means. In Chicago, if you're hanging out with your best friend and someone that's your opposition walks up and kills your best friend right next to you, you're not supposed to say a word.
That's not what FBG Butter said.
He snitched.
FBG Butter said he killed my cousin in front of me.
Italian beef and Pepsi. Everyone knows. Everyone makes fun of him. But that's what they say. You're not supposed to do that. You want them free so you can get your get back. Because if you snitch on them and they go to jail, one, you ruin your reputation, and two, they're in jail, so you can't kill them. So that's what they say. You handle it. If something happens in the streets, you handle it in the streets. Just because someone got the ups on you don't mean that you go crying to the police. I mean, It's literally as simple as they teach you in kindergarten that tattletales is goofies. So it's like, did they stop teaching that in school?
Yes.
What happened in school is they stopped letting fighting happen. When I was in middle school, there used to be a fight every day. And then by the time I was in 8th grade, they put a no tolerance rule. So if you got in a fight, even if you defended yourself, you did alternative school from that point on for the entire rest of the school year.
Ain't nobody want
so
to do that.
No one was fighting.
So what if
no
you
one
snitch?
was fighting anymore.
But if you snitched, it doesn't mean anything. You both get in trouble regardless.
What do you mean snitch?
Well, like if you got in a fight, like, I mean, why would you?
No, I'm saying I think that's what ruined people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because people used to, like, if you ran your mouth, someone would put hands on you and teach you not to run your mouth. Or if you were gonna say something, you better be able to back it up.
So basically,
but nowadays, people can talk and they're not worried about getting beat up because they're like, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. He don't want to go to alternative school.
It's basically no consequences. Like, it's no consequences for ratting. I mean, you got some people that, like, you know, the Richie Porters, he got popped, but you know, you see 6ix9ine out here, nobody doing nothing.
I mean, he
6ix9ine
got banned from the rap game. He had to go to the Spanish side.
He's in the rap game
to make
now.
any music.
He's here now.
I wouldn't say that.
How many more songs?
Because it's 2/3 Spanish.
How many songs does he have to do in order? I mean, 2/3 Spanish. 6ix9ine's rapping in English. She's rapping in English. The only girl, there's only one person, the girl. She's rapping in Spanish.
Yeah, but I'm saying 2 Spanish artists and 1 American artist.
So how many songs does he have to do to be back in the rap game then? For you,
Well, he would actually have to get.
he's not gonna do.
He'd actually have to make rap music.
He's not gonna do a whole album.
Hasn't even been making rap music at all.
He's gonna make like 3-4 songs. That's it.
Yeah, if he starts making rap albums, but it's like, I don't think he's gonna get the views like that. I mean, a lot of people even say like Gunna beat the odds. He's still sold and stuff. Yeah, he's still sold compared to those know nothings that never sold anything. But compared to himself, he completely fell off. You don't go from going 250K first week on an album to selling less than 100. I mean, that might still be a win if they thought that he was gonna get 50.
But he got a new record. The FU Mean said they got a half a million units sold already.
That didn't change anything I said.
It's still a win. I mean, it's with the rap. I guess
he still went from selling 250 down to 100 because his reputation was tarnished. So no matter what, that most people are struggling to sell 100K. It doesn't mean. I mean, it's. He dropped off by more than half.
And he dropped off, but he's still up there with the best. Like, he's on like 30K views.
I just don't see how 50% drop in production is viewed as a success.
But Meek Mill's only sold 80K. He's up there with Meek Mill's.
Meek Mill's been fell off.
Meek Mill's, baby and
Meek Mill's been a pool boy for 3 years. No one.
Dirk last album sold 120, 110,
130.
That's like
130, 140.
That's like 30, 40K more than him. That's not a lot. 30, 40K isn't a lot. You'd be like, oh yeah, I'm not much better than you.
But it still doesn't change what I said. That he was at 250 and he's down to 100. That's going down by more than 50%.
So
I mean, you could say, oh well, he crapped on Coil Ray that sold 7K. I mean, that still doesn't change that his own sales dropped off by more than 50%.
Well, if your profit goes up, your sales drop off, your profit goes up.
That doesn't work like that.
It does, because if you went that, because remember the last album, he had the Push and P song with Drake in them, so he had features on that. He had to pay for the features. So basically, all that money you spent on that last album, you didn't spend it. You kept it all for yourself. Yeah, you sold less, but you made more in the back end. You made more money. So it depends on what do you consider the win.
I wouldn't say that he made more.
If he made more money, this album made more money than this made more money. He spent less money. He made more money off this album than the profit margin is more on this album than it was on the last album, because he spent less and he made more. So basically, like, you did
did you actually see that somewhere?
If he had it's a proven fact. You have no features on it. You have no features on it. But all his music videos is like, his music videos aren't basically like up the wall. It's not like the ski song where like it's a whole bunch of people, things going around, colorful bitches everywhere. It's like he's at a yacht party, video. He's driving around in his car, video, black and white. It's not like he spent a lot of money on the video. So you can tell by looking at the video, he's not spending as much money as he did on the last year videos. The Push and P video is he spent a lot more money on the Push and P video than the Fuck You Mean video. You can tell that. It's just he spent less, so it depends on what you mean. Like business wise, what do you consider business wise as a win? Is it how much money you make and how much the profit margins, or is it compared to what you did last year?
Total sales.
Total sales, and he won.
What do you mean? He dropped off by 50%.
Oh, so total sales, so you're going by total sales.
He went from 250 to below 100. I still don't.
But then
that's not a win.
But if I go to you and be like, okay, yeah, I did that, but then, yes, last year I spent $50, but
it still doesn't change
$700.
anything. Like you could talk about profit margins, but it's still people saying that he won, but you could see that it completely affected him. So that's not true.
But he made more money. It's about making money. He's made more money, and on top of that, people are talking about the whole.
I don't believe that. I'd have to see the numbers.
You can look at it and tell. You can do on the whole thing.
Production costs a lot of money. Who did he use as his producers?
He didn't use the same. But production, you have productions, you have features, you have music videos, you got promotional things. You did a lot more things. You did a lot more. Like you had to meet doing video songs with rappers cost money. So just by eliminating that, you save
even
money.
if you have a bigger profit margin per unit, if you still sell 40% of what you sold the last time, I don't know that you still come out ahead.
But nobody's gonna say that. Like, you remember how we said, like, if you go to an interview and you be like, yeah, I got 3 top 10 albums. Like, yeah, your last top 10 album you dropped with Coil Ray. So
Charlemagne does that.
Exactly.
He likes to do that to people.
Yeah, they do like dumb things like that. Like, oh yeah, they try to. So like basically,
Charlemagne tries to hurt people's feelings.
Basically, you wouldn't say like, oh yeah. Last year, we did this. We had 250 copies sold last time, but this time it's like a lot less. So you're gonna come in there saying, oh yeah, we spent $50, but we made $700 million. That sounds a lot better than, I sold 250K and I sold 80K. If I come in and say, I spent $50, but I got 700 million, that sounds like I know business. I know something. I came up with money.
No, he doesn't know anything.
But that's a win. In the business world, that's a win. You spend 50, you make 700, that's not a win?
But you're just making up numbers. You don't have any real numbers.
Well, it's a profit. Like basically, like you spent less, you made more. That's what basically I'm saying. Like, no matter what, you spent less and made more. If I tell somebody I spent less and I made more than anybody, they're gonna like that, because everybody wants to save money and make more money than.
Yeah, but he spent less, but he made way less.
He made way less compared to his last album, but he
exactly.
made.
So it's like, I don't know. Do you want to count it a win because he sold more than 0, or do you want to? Like, I
count it as a win if I spent $500K I spent $5K on this whole album, making the whole album, but I made $7 million. That's a win for me.
Plus, I think he got most of his views off of promotion from the court case. So he probably got more promotion than anything, and he still did terrible compared to what he did before.
But that's free promotion. That's like Donald Trump and the whole.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if Donald, like when the news talks about Donald Trump, they talk about him every day, and it actually ends up in reverse as in like helping him. And I'm saying he got all that help for over a year, talking about him every single day. Every single day on No Jumper News, it's an update. Every single day on all those other channels, it's an update. And he still did severely below what he did before. Okay. So it's like you got all the press of the world and still sold about 40% of what you did before.
But then if you turn around and say, okay, but my boss, which is Young Thug, he did the same thing. And Gunna sold more than Young Thug. And Young Thug dropped twice back to back. So what you say then?
He didn't sell more.
He sold more than they did say it sold more. And he said it was better. And he said it was better. Everybody said it was better.
Thug sold like 105.
What?
Gunna sold like 80.
The first time or the second time? The first, remember he dropped back to back. Young Thug dropped the first week, then
that's why I hate deluxes, because it's like, why are you doing yeah, I don't know if it all counts as one or if it's one or the other.
So I mean, so if you do it separately, he sold more than the first one. He didn't sell more than the second one, but he went back to back. So
I mean, I still don't care. He's still a goofy. He's still gonna get treated. He's probably gonna get, if Young Thug gets out of jail and says his piece, he's probably gonna get touched in the streets. So he could do all the working out that he wants and get as skinny as he wants, but still bullet holes go through you. So at the end of the day, just keep your head on a swivel, Gunner, because it's coming.
I mean, they already said it in the 21 Savage. No, the Meezy said it, which was 21 Savage's manager, said that everybody in Atlanta is just gonna leave it alone until Young Thug get out of jail. They're not gonna touch Gunna. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna believe it. Not gonna believe it because they don't know.
Because they think that if Thug is still making money off of this man, then we're gonna leave it alone. But if Thug comes out and says, "I don't care if I'm making money off this man threw me under the bus. He's a goofy," he might have to move.
You might have to, but you got some time to wait. Because I said the court comes next year.
That's the thing, though, is like you could also, it's like, yeah, if he gets rich, if he gets killed, then what? It doesn't matter.
True that. But now
so that's the dangerous that you run with the streets. You could keep on doing goofy shit, but then when you get hit with a 30 clip, it's just end of story.
But he's not gonna be in the black neighborhoods. He's not gonna be in the hood.
It doesn't matter. Doug was at the Gucci store when he got hit with 30 holes.
But he's in the Gucci store in Chicago.
Yeah, the place where they hadn't had a crime like that in like 20, 30 years.
Definitely get him regardless. He had money on his head. But the whole Gunna thing,
exactly.
Nobody's gonna have money.
That's a Thug would have money on his head. Thug has that type of money.
Nah.
I mean, this is the type. I mean, Thug tried to get Lil Wayne killed.
It's too many people. It's like 13 people that they take the plea deal.
I mean, we're just talking about the whole thing with P. Rico is finally getting settled. So Thug's on that time.
And then P. Rico, Roscoe, Pee Wee Roscoe.
No, that P. Rico dude that he had shoot the Lil Wayne's tour bus.
Pee Wee Roscoe. That's Pee Wee Roscoe.
Oh, well, he also goes by P. Rico.
Yeah, he's been in and out of jail. He just got arrested again.
No, but I mean that's a hit. You said he's not that stuff wouldn't happen, and it's literally in their history that stuff happened.
The dude that originally said that snitched, he's out of jail and he's doing videos right now saying I ain't scared of nobody. Duke, that means Duke finna die. It's a lot of people that they released 13 people or something like that. That means all of them are dying. Gunna not just dying. That means Duke. I listen to Duke. I don't listen to Duke rapping.
I haven't listened to Duke anymore.
But that means he's gonna pop. He's gonna get popped. That means all of them's gonna get popped.
That's the way it goes in the streets.
I don't see that happening. But if it happens, it happens. But I doubt that because it would already happened already.
It's too hot. They're not going to do it when stuff's hot. I mean, that's why you see sometimes people that are beefing. It's like they cool off. They're going to act like they ain't do nothing for 2 years, and then randomly 3 years later they get gunned down by something where they don't even. Oh, they were just at the over here, and some random car pulled up on them and laid them down.
This could be. It's possible.
And plus, with the way that celebrities drop their location so much, people ain't really hard to track down.
We'll see. But I mean, in 2 more years.
But I mean, it's all cool if you want to be a TikTok Fortnite kid and condone snitching and listen to I guess the Karens run the streets now because everyone's listening to like 10-year-old Ashley saying that streets are dead.
I mean, hey, and then you got Boosie right here on the next slide saying he don't condone snitching. He don't care what you say. It is what it is. We got a video right here. Play the video.
That nigga fuck me up. I wonder how all them Zoes feel, dog. I know them Zoes fucked up right now. I know the state of Florida fucked up right now. This nigga ain't got no morals, don't got no principles. Damn. Thought that little nigga was like that, bro. Nigga ain't no street nigga. At all. Damn. Fuck me up. Nigga hurt me with that one. Fuck me up. Give how much money you get?
Yeah, how much money do you give me? I mean,
when I've seen like on the blog sites where like they'll make fun of Boosie or people will be going at him in the comments. But then if I go on Boosie's page, every time he posts a video, everyone says he's one of the last real ones left. Like when he was going at Dwayne Wade and all those issues, like he ain't holding his tongue. He speaks out against what he believes is incorrect. And a lot of people, even though like he's older, he's not popping in music like that. I mean, you're not going to be popping in music for 50 years consecutive. I don't know why everyone thinks that's what people can do. It's never happened. But everyone thanks him for his opinions and the way he speaks because he doesn't hold back and he keeps it real.
Well, I mean, his own daughter called him a snitch. was on the one we did, the Tory girl. She called him since she called the cops on his baby mama, and she called him since because of that. And then on top of that, they say he. And on top of that, it's just the thing.
So, I mean, I don't know. Do you is
I don't even care no more.
You seem like you're like on the snitching and like you want to promote snitching. Like, is that the world you want to live in, where people have no accountability? That like if people are doing anything at all, like they're looking just for the easiest way out and to take no accountability for their actions.
It depends. Like,
I mean, that's really the way the world's kind of going, anyways. Where it's a dog eat dog world.
I mean, like I feel like if I want to hang with you, then I gotta consider like, okay, is he morally this? Is he morally that? But then if I'm not trying to hang with you, I'm just trying to listen to your music. I don't care.
I've had a friend group personally affected by this. I mean, a couple of my friends were on let's just say a mission, and they got in trouble, and one snitched on the other. He got excommunicado,
and I'm
because
sure
we're gonna be like, why would you fold like that? Okay. Like you didn't even try. He didn't like this fool didn't even try to get out of it. He just folded immediately. Okay. And he wasn't. The thing is though, is he got a pass for not getting beat up, I guess you could say, because he wasn't really like that. This fool was like from like England.
So I give him. I mean,
yeah, and he didn't really grow up around any of that and stuff. So, but it was like even then, it's like fool. It's like we didn't expect you to know everything, but it's like for you to fold that quick, like nah, you done.
I mean, it's just too much. It's too many reasons to cut people off. It's just too much.
Snitches is the reason that Nipsey got killed.
I mean, you
don't give snitches no extra chances, or there's always an exception because there's some special reason that's just okay, just this one time. Nah, fam, that's not how it works.
They said that with that whole snitching on Nipsey Hussle thing, they said with that situation that he didn't snitch, and that's why you went to pop Nipsey, because he's like, you lying on me, you telling people in the hood that I snitch, and the people in the hood feel like you feel like if you snitch, we gotta fuck you up. And he was like, nah,
you gotta watch your cussing, fool.
I mean, you gotta mess me up. I'm gonna mess you up. So it was like, okay, you telling people I'm snitching, I didn't snitch, so now I gotta beat you up. That's what Whack 100 and all the California people said the reason why he ran up on Nipsey. But then people say he snitched, so I don't really know. But the whole snitching situation is like, it's just too much. Like people, like the whole R. Kelly situation. Like R. Kelly did something real wrong to girls, but I bet you take up R. Kelly right now on your Apple playlist, I bet he got more than 2,000 monthly listeners. So it's like,
I mean, Michael Jackson touched kids, and people still listen, allegedly.
Exactly. Nobody's following any rules. So it's like, nobody's following any rules. So I feel like I ain't got time. Like, I'm not gonna follow no rules if nobody's following rules. So if I like your music, you just happen to do some bad stuff, I know not to do no party with you.
That's why I don't believe in that's why most people these days don't believe in fighting anymore. Why am I gonna fight? Most people gonna pull a gun. It's either nothing or we're shooting each other.
That's why I just don't even bother with it.
Don't
even bother with it.
It's just crazy that everyone wants the world to be like that. They either want it to be on 0 or to be on 10. They want no in between.
Exactly. And I realized that I can't be on super real N-word, and I see like 85% of y'all not on super N-word. It just defeats the purpose. I just look retarded as hell, so I'm gonna just not mess with you. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do.
To me, it's actually the opposite thing. To me, it makes it easy to point out all the goofies. Because all these people condoning goofiness, it's like, all right, I can't trust this person, can't trust this person, can't trust this person, can't trust this person, because they're goofies.
True.
So it's like, to me, it's actually keep it going, because all the goofies are out in themselves.
But then when does it stop? What if it's like a Fortune 500 company, like with the whole McMill situation, when it's like, oh yeah, McMill says.
Well, then that's when you put out a mixtape called "The Last of a Dying Breed." I mean, it's facts. I mean, it's crazy that there's kids from suburbs now that are keeping it more real than street dudes.
So you don't think Diddy snitched with the whole gun situation when he shot up the club with the gun when he was with Jennifer Lopez and then shot to take the charge?
I don't know. I don't even remember that situation. But since it's Diddy, he 100% snitched.
So you see people who want to shoot Diddy all the time?
That's not me. I'm not them.
It's just like so it's
just like your parents tell you when you were a kid, if you see someone jump off a roof, you're gonna do it too.
Is he offering me $2 billion?
So that no, but I mean, it's literally that simple. You could go back to little kid story. It's literally that simple. We're gonna just stop. There's no argument that needs to happen after this one. When you are in freaking pre-K or kindergarten, they tell you what tattletales is not cool.
If you see somebody do monkeys, don't be a follower.
Don't be a follower, and then they tell you tattletales is goofies. And now all these kids, all these participation generation kids that even if you finish 10th place in your sports league, you still get a trophy.
Exactly. So it don't matter no more.
Coming up.
So it doesn't matter
No, it's
anymore.
just I'm not hanging out with no young people like that.
It's like how, and then like you see these people getting participation trophies. Like you was trash. You didn't even play on the football team. You was on the bench the whole time. But now you feel like you the ish. Like you didn't do anything.
That's why that's why the whole world's messed up. And it's just like, like teachers used to be able to discipline kids. And now you can't, and now you wonder why, they have a hard time getting teachers. You wonder why teachers don't want to go to work when there's videos of them getting punched in the face by kids every other week. So it just leads to a corrupt world. So it's like, do you want to try to have some morals or values, or are you just ready to go to Mad Max free-for-all where it's just like looting and like Armageddon type stuff? Like, are we going to go to Planet of the Apes? Is this going to be... Do we just need to go ahead and put on the siren so it could be like what's the movie where for one day they allow you to kill people?
Oh, The Purge?
Yeah. Do we want to just honestly bring that in?
Pretty much.
So I mean that's people, but people don't want to take it that far. So people would say this and that, but then when you really break it down, they don't have no argument.
True.
Because it's like that's the only answer then.
True.
If it's a free for all, let's make it a true free for all. Let's do a purge. And let's see if you're really about it to survive through the night.
True that. And then another thing, another reason
most
why
people don't even know how to use weapons.
And then another reason why, like, this whole snitching situation, I don't really care about is because I remember growing up, my stepdad used to tell me, like, you got to take responsibilities for, like, your own actions. So, like, if y'all all do some bad stuff and you get caught, don't snitch on them. You take responsibilities, you shut the hell up, and you just take that. But then once you start realizing that these people snitching still, you be like, I'm gonna just do everything by myself. So once I realize I need to do the crime by myself, I don't even care about you snitching because I'm doing it by myself. I don't care what you do.
But it's not even about committing crimes by yourself. It's like if you got a whole crew and then they try to get you for a RICO, you can all be a part of a crew but commit crimes each individually.
No,
but then they
going
get
down regardless.
But then say it's a crew that they're on a block. And they have, all right, this guy's a stick-up guy, this guy's a carjacker, this or that, and they all do it on their own. They never go with anyone else. But say the stick-up guy gets locked up, and he's like, "Hey, I could give you the info on these 2 carjackers." That's baloney, man. You got caught. They didn't get caught.
Exactly, that's baloney. That's why I do it by myself.
No, that's not it. I'm saying they did it by themselves.
No. He knows that he's gonna snitch on you because he knows the illegal things that you do. I'm not telling nobody nothing. Like you ain't gonna know nothing that I do. Like if I'm doing something, I'm not telling you at all.
I mean, if it's
you don't think like Jesse's just a regular everyday pedestrian?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're like most dudes like that, we talk like these rapper dudes. They're from a block, so it's like you're gonna know what the other guys are doing, even if you're just talking to my boy James. Oh, where's James? Oh, James is out there selling, I don't know, Percocet.
Because he talked too much. James shouldn't have been telling everybody. Just kept it to himself.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's just like, how scared are you going to be in life? Are you never going to get in a car because you can get in a car accident and die?
I'm never going to get in a car with a person if I'm going to do something illegal.
No, but I'm just saying, it's just like,
just never you don't trust people no matter what you do. I don't care. You don't trust anybody because anybody can snitch. You seen Nino Brown, you seen they snitching on everybody. They snitching on you if you're own team. They snitching on you if you making more money than them and you an enemy opposite. They snitching on you. They snitching on you regardless.
I've even seen people lose their reputation for snitching on their op.
Hey,
I've seen that where they lost their whole career from. Well, that happened with Troy Ave.
What?
Troy Ave was involved in that shooting. He had a little bit of a buzz where like people were messing with him. They came out that he snitched, and then they're like, oh, and then some people try to do like 6ix9ine. Well, they beat him up. What do you expect him to do? Oh, well, it was his op. He didn't have no loyalty to his op. But then we got people out here like YFN Lucci who don't say nothing to nobody, when he could have really messed up his ops.
And look at him holding it down, and nobody really doing nothing for him. He in there by himself. Come out with
his books is paid.
He's gonna come out with the same story. I was in jail, my books was paid, but nobody wrote me a letter. He's gonna be just like that.
No.
Yes, that's what usually always happens. They go to
I
jail.
follow his friends, and they said that they are great pen pals.
I hope
they re-up on stationery all the time.
It never ends. If people go out of jail, that doesn't happen. You hear the jail stories. That doesn't always happen. Majority of the time, they be like, I was in there by myself. Only one visit me was my mom and my grandma. That was it.
Then you a phony.
That's how it usually happens. It's all phony.
At the end of the day, you can spin it any way you want. If you condone snitching, you're the goofy's the goofy. You're the leader of the goof troop, and you should be dealt with by the LA fitness goons.
It's like the whole Boston Richie. You see everybody still with Boston Richie.
No, his career. You could. That's what I'm saying. It's like no.
They still around him.
His career fell off huge.
I mean, he's still around.
This man went from having every time he dropped top 3 song on YouTube.
True.
Every time he dropped top 3 song. Now he's like 20ish. You can't say that he wasn't affected. He was 100% affected.
I say he's still hanging around. You see, he's still hanging around his people
because they're broke.
He hanging around the rappers, Lou Tyler and them. Lou Tyler, he just did a whole video with
That's freshmen. They don't have a choice.
No. I sent you the picture. He did a picture. He took a picture of like all the top Florida rappers that's out right now. It could have been business, but then I don't know if it wasn't business. But he was with them.
Well, it's just when I see the Florida rappers, most of the time they're going out sad, so I don't really expect much from them.
And then Brick Baby, the one on No Jumper, the dude with the dress, he says it's like the only people that keep it real, I would say, and I've been looking it up, is Chicago, and they semi keep it real, but because I haven't found anything yet. But it's some people, it's like I don't know. But California, they hanging with snitches. Florida, you can tell they hanging with snitches. Texas, you see they hanging with snitches. In New York, you see they're hanging with snitches.
Yeah, because that's usually it's like they're too big to police themselves. Especially like when you go to those California gangs and they got like 2,000, 5,000 members. It's like you're not going to be able to keep that in order. But the thing is with Chicago, even though that there might be 1,000 of a certain or 5,000 of another one, they each kind of like break it down to their like subsets where there's like not that many. Like, yeah, you're a part of this nation that might be 8,000 of them in Chicago, but your block may only be like 15 people or 20 people.
True.
So if someone doesn't act right, it's like John Wick. They get excommunicado. They ain't allowed to be around nowhere. If they were maybe a super solid and did a bunch of other stuff, they might get left alone, but they ain't allowed to be around nothing. No parties, no nothing. So it's like they're basically it's isolated. It's like when you're giving someone the silent treatment almost.
Okay, so that's what snitching. So what about THF crack? So THF crack get out of jail.
We can't go into that. Not on YouTube.
Okay, so what if everybody, basically anybody that has anything a different charge, you ain't got to talk about the charge, but all them other charges, people still listen to R. Kelly with all them nasty charges. People don't care about these rules. Like so what are you drawing the line at? Like you gonna be called a goofy regardless. Your rep gonna be taken regardless. Somebody gonna call you a goofy regardless. It's gonna be a girl out there. It's a girl out there right now that says Gavin ain't no real N-word. No real. I mean, even though you're not red, nigga, but you're like, oh, he ain't no real one. He ain't Gavin. Ain't no real. Somebody's calling you a phony. In any way, shape, or form, somebody's gonna be calling you a phony in something. So you can't be real in everything. Just
because someone, I mean, yeah, if you're not doing it right if you don't have haters. That's what they say. But just because you have haters doesn't mean you get to sell. You can't just sell. You can't just sell.
But you can't cut up and can't cut. You see Nicki Minaj still hanging with Mr. Petty, You see, exactly. It's weird. Like, where you draw the line at?
But it's still other people don't affect what I do. So it doesn't matter. You could mention 1,000 other people. Just mentioning 1,000 goofies. It doesn't change anything.
A lot of goofies in the world.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like I think it's just nice because then you can see people that but people defend this. It's just like when 6ix9ine got in trouble and they're like, oh, they pistol whipped him and they got on his baby moms, so he has no loyalty. I would have snitched too. That's not what it says. It says if you in the streets and you're doing street stuff, someone does something to you, you do something to them back. You don't go with your tail between your legs and cry to the police, oh, Mr. Officer, they hurt me.
True. But in the street rules, they say you're not supposed to shoot kids. They shoot kids.
No, they don't really shoot kids on purpose. What happens is people will get excited that there's an op and they'll just let it spray. And then usually there might be someone in the area and they get hit by a random. But people ain't trying to do that to
You seen King Yella just dropped the video today. His baby mom was on the car with the baby. They seen him in the car. They popped him.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that what we want to go to?
Wavy Navy, the dude from QC, he got signed. He had the waving.
I know. Just because stuff happens doesn't mean it's acceptable. That's just because, like, if you want to tell me a story about a serial killer, it doesn't mean that that's like cool.
Got a point, though. But I need you.
It's like those people that like, oh, well, they didn't snitch on me, so I don't got no problem with them. Well, what if it's a child predator? They didn't touch my kid. I'm gonna not pay no attention.
Nobody cares. Exactly. That's what they do. That's exactly what they're doing with Mr. Petty.
No.
You see Mr. Petty's around.
I don't know who Mr. Petty is.
Nicki Minaj's baby daddy.
Oh.
Husband.
But he's not around. He's around her.
He's around.
He's not around stuff.
He's around people. He doesn't want to register himself at all. He wants to be, and that's what the neighborhood wants to kick him out.
Exactly. So he's not accepted.
That's them, but everybody, it just depends. I guess it just depends how much money you got. Because if you got money, then people like...
Sometimes money can't fix something when it's that serious. That's why Nicki Minaj is kind of like not putting out that much music and doing a song here or there, because she's fighting that case.
She's dropping the album.
She's fighting that case, and that might be a distraction because she's having a tough time because apparently she's even allegedly tried to do witness intimidation, where they've tried to pay people to get up on... What's crazy is her spouse allegedly did something to a woman that's terrible, and then it's like they're still harassing that same woman.
Exactly.
So that woman is like,
it's just none of this stuff makes sense.
So yeah, well, it's like we know. It's just like with men and women. There's
it's like with
there's double standards.
It's like with Future and Dirk. You say Future and Dirk is real ones, but I can show you 7 million girls that say if you chill with Future and Dirk, you a goofy because they don't respect women, they don't respect black women, yada yada
Well,
yada.
That's every rapper.
It's always gonna be something.
Well, I mean, people, if you're famous enough, they'll find something to hate on you about. That's gonna happen regardless.
But you don't want that to be
but you
you
don't want something that's like a permanent stick. Like you could have a bad album and then people are like, oh, that wasn't that good. But if you come out with the fire album a year later, they're like, oh man, he's back on his ish. But if you snitch a year later, you're still a snitch. It doesn't change it. You can't fix that. It's not a fixable thing.
And if you touch people, if you Trey Songz is still Trey Songz, eh?
I don't even know what happened to Trey Songz. Trey Songz is bad, man. He's been preying on people since I was in middle school.
He's still out here. Remember that song? I go girl if you're thirsty, make you say ah.
You were saying
Boss, moving on, man. Comment below.
Just comment below. Are you a year 2000s kid that plays Fortnite so you condone snitching? Do you also paint your fingernails? Because usually if you condone snitching, you probably paint your fingernails.
Pretty much.
And you probably act like Tom Holland. So if you're a person that's, but that's also common in Florida. So
let's see how it goes. It's a lot of them.
I heard the Zoes is a bunch of.
You're on with that one. But moving on to the next topic here.
Wait, what happened? You talk about people getting touched. Didn't Kodak's friend get his head cut off? Because he snitched?
I don't know what he got his head cut off for, though. I think he was like disloyal. It's like, it's weird. Difference. It's not.
So it's like,
it's weird. They
might cut Kodak's head off.
Nah.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, will Kodak get his head cut off?
It's like, it's weird. Like, it's disloyalty if you over talking to ops. Like, it's like they rank it differently. Like, snitching is one thing, but if you fuck my baby mama, it's way worse. It's like some crazy shit.
It's like they will see if they're taking loyalty way more serious, then what is this fool doing? Being
loyalty
a goofy.
In your crew. It's in your crew. If you're not in your crew, it doesn't matter. Like what Michael Hunter said, like I don't care. Like I don't care about my crew. I care about loyalty in my crew. I don't care about loyalty around y'all people over here. So if I'm a blood, if I want all my bloods to be real in words. But if you a Crip and you over here snitching, that is us on you and your prerogative, and that's for your crew to handle. That is not for me to handle. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But if you got so much money on me and the business look right and yada yada yada, then I go to your burger shop and buy a burger and take a picture.
I can't wait if we make it big on YouTube. I'm gonna be like Mr. Beast. I'm gonna go and be like, all right, You said that he got paid, so business is business. So we tracked you down to your house. I will give you $100K to put a giant butt plug
in your butt.
In your butt.
Somebody might. They might. I mean, it's a price for everything. Everybody got a price for something. It's a price for everything.
Not me.
It's a price for everything for certain things. Like, you know, you may not do that.